Hi everybody, Jo here again. How are you doing? I hope your new week started well and I hope you managed to have a lovely weekend. It can be a bit busy this time of year, can't it? We're all thinking about Christmas and festivities and how you're doing with your cards. Have you finished them? Or have you started them? Christmas tags, I love making Christmas tags. They're almost like, I don't know, a more fun version of a card, but that's probably just me. I like making bags as well to match. But I think as crafters often, we all have things we like, don't we? It's funny because I love buying presents, but I love wrapping them up and making just little special embellishments to go on them and trying to hide the tape. And, oh, we're funny, aren't we? We all have things that we like and things we don't. Anyway, I digress. Today I'm coming in with a lovely little design that's more sort of, I'm going for autumnal rather than Christmas because I know not everybody likes Christmas designs. But also I think for our friends who are spring, coming into summer, I'm thinking you could put, with the pinks, I think it could bring in that nice sort of spring type feel. And that's the beauty of when we create, we can just alter design slightly to suit what we need. And I think this will make a great man's card as well, because no offence you men out there, but sometimes you can be tricky to make for. So I think this could easily be a lovely card, a retirement card, a get well soon card for a male member of our family. And would you believe it all starts with a B7? As you know, I'm really into using these. I love the fact that Lavinia sell ready-made packs of B7 because look at that. You can fit so much on that space. And I know you're going to ask me, and I should know, it's 3.5 inches by just a smidgen under 5. But I've just matted and layered, look, and it just makes it look, but look it is, it's just that size. So I'm going to start, and again, you can team up so many of your stamps, but I thought it's a while since I've used Lovely and Bijou, so I wanted to use him. So colours I'm going to go for today, I'm going to start with Pinecone. And this vine branch, again, are very useful. And sometimes it's nice to get older stamps out, maybe ones you haven't used for a while. So just going to stamp. I just need something for Bijou to be able to sit on. So I'm thinking this should be enough. So before I stamp my surrounding foliage, I'm thinking let's stamp our main guy. Now I'm actually going to come into the Portobello only because I want him slightly lighter. Almost, you see, I'm looking after him because we have to protect our owls. And I'm thinking I'm going to add, he needs a bit of camouflage. So if I go a slightly lighter colour, that'll help him blend in, won't it? And all we're going to do is sit him, and I want his feet actually on the branch. But you know what? If you have your brown fine liner at hand, you'll be fine. And again, there's a lot of detail, so don't lift that stamp up too quickly. But there we go, just sat beautifully. So I can come in now and just add a little bit more foliage. So back to the darker colour. And I'm just building up that lovely design. So I think this, I like that shape there. Such a useful stamp this. And again, don't forget, so let's just stamp this here, but don't forget this can be a lovely branch and it can go left or right, but also makes a lovely tree that way. So very, very useful stamp that. So that's the vine branch. Now, when I got to this stage, I wanted to bring in my lovely Starpines, and I love these little stamps. And it just brings in a bit more texture without having to stamp leaves. Sand Dune, or Sandra Dune as she's now known. And that way, with it being a lighter colour, it'll just go into the background a bit more. Now, with this one, I don't really want that branch so much. So if I ink up in the corner, I can get more, if I show you, of the actual almost fronds rather than the branch bit. Now again, I don't want to overcook it with this. I just want a nice amount. So I'm just going to work my way around and have a look. I think I need a little bit here, look, coming this way. Just a nice little covering. And then a little bit here, just so we've got that cohesive design that fills around him without taking over. And using a lighter colour is a great way of pushing your design towards the back. Really helps with perspective, look. So even where we've stamped over the darker colour, it looks like it's pushed further back. Now, there are some spaces, but I'm happy with that because what I'm going to do is stop there with that. And I can always come back at the end if I want some more. So my tip is almost stop before you think you should. But with the single one, and I must admit, I keep looking at this thinking it looks like a feather. I'm thinking, I'm going to come in with Portobello now. So it's a little bit deeper. And what it'll do, look, when I stamp it, that gives me another layer. So I've got the darkest of the berries in front, then this in the mid, and then the original sand dune further back. So it gives me more perspective. And I'm just going to add a few of these. And again, I don't want to add too many. Now I just want the end of this. I'm just going to clean my stamp. Just see if I can get the end. Don't want all of it, just there. And it's just about building up the design, but without it looking too fussy. And as I say, no pizzas here. Well, you can eat one, we just don't want one on your card. Right, so it just needs one more here, and that's it. So I've got that lovely shape, and it almost mimics the shape of his head. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And I've got little bits of white space, which again is nice. Just try and bear in mind to keep some of that white space. And you know what I'm going to say? Versafine Clair, slow drying ink. So let's get in that habit of blotting it. Because I'm so happy with my stamping, I don't want to smudge it. So I'm going to add the moon mask there. So as always, let's turn it upside down. It'll work better. Sahara, just to give that lovely sort of earthy colour and a vintage feel. Now I'm going to start at the corner this time. And it doesn't matter if I go over the owl because I'm going to colour him in browns. So we're actually covered that way. So it's nicer than having to think, oh, I need to go around the owl. I'm just going to go over where we've stamped. I'm going to leave a little area of white just around. So very simply, look, I've just gone round the moon, round where we've stamped, and left a couple of areas lighter, just because I think that works better. And now to bring in some confetti. As you know, it's a combination I've really loved using recently. And I'm just going to bring the confetti in that corner and then go right across the moon. So I've re-inked, but I'm going to go back to that corner. Didn't want to go straight across the moon in case there was too much colour. And I just want to bring in that lovely confetti into those areas where I've left the lighter colour, just to add that lovely pinky tones. But also we've got that cloud going right across. And it's up to you how much pink. I just want it nice and light, but again, you know your design. You might want to come in and add strong pink, but it's a lovely combination. If it's not one you've used before, Sahara and Confetti, I think, are just beautiful. Now, I think you could leave it like this. And now, if you wanted, you could decoupage. He looks fabulously decoupaged. But we're going to come in with some colour. And these are my Mondeluz pencils. And we've got number 4, number 30, number 5, number 9, 25, and 33. Cloth to lean on. And I'm just going to very quickly, before we start, just add a little bit of brown to the lovely branch here that is sat on. And I'm just going here with a mid-brown, and then I'll come in with a deeper brown just to add a little bit of tone. So I'm just adding it at the bottom, and where Tracy's drawn, I mean, the detail's amazing. She's drawn some lovely knots in the wood, so you can add that darker colour. And you know what I'm like, you'll take a lot longer than me. You could just make yourself a brew and sit and add colour. Maybe stamp up 2 or 3 of these and colour them all at the same time. Now again, his eyes, it's up to you. I'm just adding a green. I just fancied him having beautiful green eyes. Some orange. And again, the way I'm going to approach this is I'm just sort of going to play and add some colours around and just play with colour. And I'm thinking I want a nice bright combination of sort of oranges and yellows. And then we can add in the browns. But what I love about this is it's very much, everybody's different, and you can choose. I mean, it could be a snowy owl, you could actually do it the proper colour of an owl, but I tend to just add, I have this sort of, well, you know me, I just play, so I just sort of go for adding, I want some yellow in here, some highlight, to bring out that yellow. And the way I approach colour, and again, I know I'm different, I just sort of, I'm not pressing on very heavily, because what I'm doing is just basically adding a nice light amount of colour, and then I'll come in at the end and almost blend it all together, because I just want my owl, but it might be you want certain colours in certain places, and I know there's some of you out there that do the most amazing colouring. I just want to come in now with a darker colour look and go all the way around. And you see the difference on that. For me, it really just makes the eyes pop. It's a bit like adding mascara. Although I don't wear makeup, so I say that, but... And I'm just thinking, if I had a couple of dark areas down here, it just gives the illusion. And then a couple of light areas. Right, now I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I've got this is the number 9, and it's sort of a bit of a beigey brown pinky colour. And what I'm going to do is I'm pressing a little bit harder now, because this is where I'm going to blend all the colours together. Now you could use your water brush and blend the colours. You could use a clear wink of Stella and do your wink of colouring. But I'm just using this beigey pinky colour. I want to bring in those pinky tones. And I just find for me, now it blends all those colours together. And it just means that my odd bits of colouring everywhere are just blended nicely. And I love the way, can you see, it's bringing in that, reflecting those colours with the Sahara. And just for me, that's the way. But as I say, you've probably got a really good way that you colour. So you just have fun and you add colour. That just needed blending a little bit more. And for me, as I say, I'm very light, but then when I'm blending, I know I can press a little bit harder. Right, happy with that. And this really, it's quite a quick design to do. But as I say, you can, now, gel pen, sorry, you know what I'm like, I always test the white on the back. So if ever you get a design of mine, don't look on the back, because that's probably where I've tested my colour. And I'm just going to go over, add a couple of highlights here. The moon's here, so this side will sort of have those lovely highlights. And on these beautiful berries, we'll just have a couple. I don't want to overdo it. Just a couple. And then I'm going to add some lovely faux bleaching in the sky. So got my fan brush in my water pot. Very important for me, give it a good tap. If I don't, I find almost like my water splats are too big to start off with. So it's something I spent time working out. Well, you know what I'm like. I do it wrong, get a big water splat, realise why, and then that means I can come in and let you know. That's my job, to do it wrong first. We've got a lovely vine on here. Now it's up to you. I was a bit torn. I'm coming in with a metallic red in the Signo pens, but I have got a gold, and I must admit I was quite tempted for the gold, but I went for the red, for those pinky tones. But I think it would look lovely. I might have to do the design again actually and do it in gold and then decide which one I like the most. But just follow that lovely vine. I'm just going to add a little bit down there. Now it might be if you wanted to add some of the berries with the pen as well, but it's really up to you. Also glossy accents on his eyes would look fabulous. Now you can see the faux bleaching is just starting to take effect. Look, you can see that colour change. Now the best tip I can give you is you decide how much colour change you want. Now I just want it to be mottled. I don't particularly want it to look like snow. I just want it to be mottled so that this design could be used for any time of year. So my suggestion is give it a blot with your kitchen roll. And then that way, I mean, look at that. I love it. It's almost like stars. Now, it could be you suddenly decide you want to stamp some stars there. I mean, I love that. And that's just totally natural, isn't it? You cannot make that happen. You could do this 2 or 3 times and it'll never be the same. So just for my finishing touch today on this, I do love this, but it needed something a bit extra. And what I'm going to do is come in with liquid pearls, and I've gone for rose gold. Again, I couldn't decide between a pinky tone, but I've gone for the lovely tones. Now, liquid pearls is a tinker, a bit like stickles, it can have wind. So my suggestion is pop it on your mat first, just to make sure it's working. And I'm just going to turn this round. Now again, you could put it where the little berries are, but I want to almost make this as extra berries where I've stamped those lovely pines. And again, my suggestion with this is almost touch the card and lift up. For me, the best way it works is to lift up. You've more chance of getting a nice dome. And almost don't be afraid of it, don't overthink it. Just dab and lift. And this will dry hard, and yes, you can pop it in the post, no problem, but it just adds, just need another little one there, just adds another little dimension and something a bit different to the design. So that one, as I say, was rose gold. And the last finishing trick is one of our lovely sentiments. And I'm going to go for quiet time. So this is one of the sticker sentiments. And again, remember in the pack you get black, white and vintage. And I'm going to put that because I think he's there going, do you know what? You're all asleep. I'm sat up here. Maybe it's just daybreak or sunset and he's having a lovely quiet time. As I say, perfect retirement card. And there's the finished. And as I say, these dome beautifully. And it just gives something a bit 3D. So again, it's nice to have texture. It's nice to feel something. And if you've not had your little owls out for a while, maybe it's the time to just get them out and show them that you love them. So that's homework for you. Go and check on your owls. They've probably been asleep for a while, but they want to come out and play. So as always, thanks for popping in. I hope you have fun and I hope you create something similar. But what colours are you going to use? Which stamps are you going to use? I would love you to post your work, tag me in, and then I can see. So you take care. I'll see you again soon. Love from me. Bye for now.